I'm here with, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is King Hyena, and I'm one of the Rope to Rope Entertainment wrestlers.
Awesome, man. How long you've been wrestling for?
On and off for 3 years to 4 years now.
Do you have any inspirations that made you want to become a pro wrestler?
Yeah, one of my inspirations was, even though I'm a male, she's a female, Lita, because she was, despite being how small she was on TV, she definitely had a impact on not my style personally, but how I kind of would like to move forward and wrestle like later on.
Okay. Now, where'd you train at to be a wrestler?
It actually, well, it's definitely a story and a half to say the least. Started out at Chikara, then I went to, was off that for a good while. Then went to BWF, trained with El Gato Sombrio, one of my best friends in the business. Then I went to DJ Hyde School out in New Jersey there, over in CZW. And then I went to ECPW for a while, starting to go back again actually. And then went to what was formerly known as WSW, now
Okay.
SPW.
All right. Now, do you have any highlights of your career so far?
Uh, One of my best highlights so far would have to be wrestling with one of my trainers, Tiagre Volcan.
Okay. What was that like?
Who you actually, did an interview with just recently,
Yeah.
right? It was definitely something great to be sharing the ring with him during the match and even post-match. But it was definitely great, and I would like to work with him again.
Okay. Now, what were some of your favorite wrestlers growing up? I know you said Lita before, but
Yeah.
do you have anybody else that you model your style off of?
Just recently, actually, because I took a break from watching wrestling because Attitude Era. And can't watch certain things because of the stuff that they were doing back then. But getting back into it, I would say the era of Cena. I have to say one of the wrestlers I've been watching just recently on AEW is Luchasaurus because he's tall like I am, but
Okay.
has me by a couple of inches. Watched Lucha Underground when that was on Netflix. One of my favorite wrestlers from that was Phoenix, now Ray Phoenix, Pentagon Jr., aka El Penta Zero Miedo on AEW, Kalisto on WWE. What's his name? Gran Metalik, also in WWE, formerly El Gran Dorado, or whatever his name was in CMLL. And some of the CMLL guys like Místico, Caristico, Dragon Lee, Gran El. His name is escaping me right now, but I'm pretty sure I remember his name later on. Puma and Tiger Casas from CMLL as well.
Okay. Now, how did the COVID-19 pandemic affect wrestling for you?
It kind of affected wrestling for me a little bit because, don't get me wrong, I love the ring. I miss being around people, but in the times that we're in right now, definitely kind of calls for certain protocols to be met. And to say the least, I don't mind the protocols being followed because that's what has to be done anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I definitely miss the ring, to say the least.
What was like your first match back after being shut down from COVID for all that time?
My first match back would have to be the match of me, Tigre, versus Dyson Bennett and Luca Mancini,
Okay.
which I know me and him still probably have some business to take care of.
Okay. All right. Now, what kind of stuff do you do to train to stay in shape for the ring?
The things I do, I practice kickboxing, which I'll be going and doing tomorrow.
Okay.
The gym, of course,
Mm-hmm.
because everyone knows that. Some light cardio here and there, and then various other martial arts to throw into my style and mix it up.
Okay. All right. Now, do you have any shows coming up at all that you want to talk about?
I don't have any shows to say the least yet, but I'm going to be at the show on December 5th.
Okay.
So I'm focused on training and keeping myself ready for that.
Okay. Now, who's your favorite opponent that you've wrestled?
If Battle Royal counts, I would have to say my favorite opponent would have to be Jason. Because that guy, man, he is tall. Not only is he tall, man, he can choke slam you like almost like he was dropping any other victim from any height, you know.
Okay. Now I know, like you have with your luchador style and all, like you probably have to have heard of the great Rey Mysterio. Now,
Of course.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about like the whole thing with Rey Mysterio and Dominic in the feud with Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy?
I definitely think that could have gone a little bit differently and a little bit better in my opinion, but this is what it is. But I definitely think that Dominic has a good future in the WWE, to say the least.
Okay.
I would love to see him go underneath his father's mask or carry it on as tradition in Mexico.
Okay. Now, what about the Mexican culture and the luchador style attracts you to it?
The thing that attracts me the most to it is that not only just high flying, it's also depending on who is in the ring. They're either high flying, they mix it up with grappling or ground pound. Like the lucha style isn't just high flying like everyone thinks. Depending on who's underneath the max, they do any sort of array of styles.
Okay.
Like for example, Luchasaurus. He's big. Like he's big. Does he take to the sky often? Yeah. Only when warrants it. Well, I like to take to the sky? Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely have a few tricks up my sleeve.
Now, what do you think of the match with Rey Mysterio and Brock Lesnar?
Oh man, that's definitely the street fight was definitely great, and I liked how they incorporate Dominic in on the double 619 and the double frog splash.
Okay.
That was very well done. But I think the finish could have been done differently. That's just me though.
Yeah.
But
Now, like you watched wrestling growing up and all.
Yeah.
What's your favorite era or time period in pro wrestling?
Attitude Era. But also before that, over in Japan was when Hayabusa was big. Before, like pre-Hayabusa, before he did the pile driver that ended his career.
Okay.
Before that he was amazing in the ring. I love his style.
Okay. All right. Now, do you have anything else you'd like to say or add or anything to get off your chest?
I'm pretty sure you see almost all the banter that me and Luca and El Rey have back and forth on online.
Okay. Yeah.
Me and them, I know we have unfinished business, you two and I. But trust me, when it comes down to it, fellas, it ain't personal. It's just business. And I guarantee you, your little business, it's going to be put out of business.
Awesome, man. Thanks for doing this interview.